Welcome to Full Scope, a podcast designed to analyze the games that we love, the headlines of music, and the movies we cannot forget. I'm your host, Wellington Burns, and I'm back with another episode. We have a lot of topics to get into for this one. Obviously, NBA topics, and also the Gervonta Davis-Lamont Roach draw, the very controversial fight, the hair grease fight with Tank Davis. And in the second half, we're going to have a review of Captain America: Brave New World with a special guest, Alex Hampton, a guy who's been on countless times in the past. But to start off with the breaking news of Kyrie Irving earlier in the week, having a torn ACL and being done for the season. This is one of those injuries where it's a full circle moment in a negative way of what's happened wrong with Dallas this entire season. They cannot catch a break. You have Anthony Davis, who's hurt, still constantly hurt. We call him Anthony Davis street clothes for a reason because this man cannot stay healthy at all. I used to be very angry at Charles Barkley saying that because I was like, why is he dismissing him? Why is he calling him street clothes? But looking at it now, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. It makes plenty of sense of why Anthony Davis would be called street clothes because Anthony Davis cannot stay healthy. Anthony Davis has been a liability in terms of staying on the court, and Anthony Davis does not show up when it's money time. I'm sorry. I hope he gets better. I hope he shows up, but Anthony Davis has wasted years of many all-stars, many elite players' career. That is on AD for not keeping himself in game shape. That's on him. There's a list of players who have not kept themselves in the shape that they should be in. Kawhi Leonard has done that very well, but Joel Embiid, he has not. There were times one of my favorite players, Luka Doncic, he did not keep himself in game shape, and he paid the cost for it. We have to do the same with AD. AD at some point has to realize he did this to himself. He's done this to himself. Where's the accountability for Anthony Davis? I know injuries happen, but when you can play, why aren't you playing? Why are you sitting on the bench doing load management like you're imitating Kawhi Leonard's 2019 season with the Raptors? Like, why are you doing that? Why are you trying to imitate that? Why are you trying to replicate that? And so when I look at Dallas as a whole, I see major issues. I see a team that was close to having a 10, 12-year run with a superstar before everything happened, before the pieces and the crumble. But honestly, like, you know, that scene in Dark Knight Rises where Commissioner Gordon talked about, you know, the foundation crumbling, things shattering, you know, when he was talking to Robin about that. It reminds me of that. Like the foundation just shattered and crumbled once Luka got traded. Once public enemy number one, Nico Collins. Because I want to say this, Nico Collins. This is what happens when you trade a star player like Luka Doncic. This is what happens. I'm sorry. Nico Collins has, in a matter of a few weeks, completely obliterated the Mavs' future, their title hopes, their postseason hopes, their fans' just entertainment. Because now those nachos with cheese are going to start tasting cold. Like Charles Barkley said, those nachos in Phoenix, it's a little cold. It's a little cold because it's not entertaining. So you're sitting there really sad because your team is not competitive. Nico Collins has to live with that this entire summer, and I'm sorry, but that is the worst trade in NBA history. Worst trade ever. Worst trade. Absolutely no holds barred. The worst trade in NBA history. What are you thinking when you have a 25-year-old star and Luka Doncic, who is by far one of the most talented players, not even European, just talented players I've ever seen grace the court with the step back ability, with the floaters, with the one leg dirt shot, and you trade him away? And he's not had a sit down interview where he's let us know any reason why there was a concrete just purpose for that. That is what upsets me the most about Nico Collins. I feel sorry for the Mavericks fan. I'm sorry that you have a guy like that as your general manager who does not know basketball, clearly. Even business wise, I didn't want to hear this. Oh, it was business. It was business. Yeah, it was business to trade away Luka. Like, that's not business. What? That's business? How is that business when you're trading away a megastar? And now he's teamed up with LeBron James, who is going to probably get to the Western Conference Finals and might get to the finals. You never know. You never know what's going to happen these next few years. And so I personally think this is the worst trade in NBA history. I feel so sorry for Kyrie because Kyrie is he's grown, he's matured, he's mellowed out, he's really like not done any distractions off the court. He's really just been very locked in, and I think that's amazing. But these injuries are such a bear. And I did hear on a show, I think I saw it on First Take yesterday that on First Things First, I saw that Chris Broussard said it might be possibly next year as well. It might lead into next year, this injury, because torn ACLs, they're serious. And the way it looked, it didn't look like just a regular one. So I feel very bad for Kyrie. I really hope he can get better over time and not miss the entire season. KD was probably going to come in the summer. If everything had stayed pat with Kyrie and Anthony Davis and Klay Thompson, I think KD would have come. Now that changes. That changes drastically, and they have lost their window for the foreseeable future, and it's devastating. It's a huge blow. Next thing I want to get to is LeBron, 50,000 career points. I feel like it's a broken record, but man, like this guy doesn't stop. This guy does not stop. He is the epitome of going on, continuing in a graceful, professional manner, and that's awesome. It's just so incredible, and there's a parallel between him and Steph Curry right now because I personally believe that Steph Curry and LeBron are re-energized in a way that they haven't been in a while. They were going through the doldrums of the season about like, oh man, like, okay, here we go. Middling pack. Like, we got to be 6th, 7th, 8th seed. Got to be a playing team. We got to do all these things just to get to where we got to get to, and we're probably going to get out in the first round. We may even lose in the play-in. It's just going to be another long summer where we got to watch these other teams be in the finals and we can't compete. That all changed once the Lakers got Luka Doncic. That all changed once the Warriors got Jimmy Butler. Because you know what? Jimmy Butler has reinvigorated the Golden State. Luka Doncic hasn't reinvigorated the Lakers. Those two guys, Jimmy Butler and Luka Doncic, have not completely single-handedly, but they've had a major impact on the Lakers and Warriors playoff chances and how far they can go in April and May, in the money months when it really matters about the NBA season. They've done that. Those two guys are invigorated. They're excited. And it's like when you have that new car smell. You're like, hey, man, let's go to the movies, man. Let's go get some tropical smoothie. Like let's go to like B-Dubs. Like I got the car. Like we can kick it today because I got that new car smell. Everything's good. Like I want to just drive it around. I just want to hey, let's listen to an album. Let's just do some things, man. Like let's kick it. I mean, again, that's the new car smell. But you know what the Nico Collins Mavericks have? They have that old car. It's like, oh man, it's a little dungy. It's that Boys in the Hood scene when Ice Cube like, I don't want to go with y'all anymore. I don't want to rock with y'all. Like y'all about to do something bad. That's the Nico Collins Mavericks car. It's that Ice Cube Boys in the Hood scene when they know they about to go to the West Coast and they about to get some damage done to them. The Lakers Boys in the Hood them. Come on, man. Come on, Nico. Come on, Public Enemy #1, Nico Collins. Come on, Nico. It doesn't taste. I know that food doesn't taste the same. I know those baby back ribs don't taste the same. I know they don't. It's okay, Nico. It's okay, Nico. Just don't make any more trades. You're not a trade machine anymore. I'm sorry. I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest about Nico Collins because that is just so sickening to me that he would make a trade like that, and just hurt his team's future. But yeah, I think Jimmy Butler and Luka Doncic have significantly impacted their respective teams in the right way, and we could get a Warriors-Lakers second round matchup. And I think it will be very good. Be a very good matchup. The NBA wants to see those guys in the playoffs. They don't want to see them at home. Adam Silver is very excited about what he's saying with the Lakers and Warriors. I guarantee you, he does not want to see an OKC Cleveland finals, which I think would be a good finals. It would be. It wouldn't be a bad finals. It would be very good. And I think that's something he has to look at and be like, okay, let's see where this goes. Let's see what the Lakers do. Let's see what the Warriors do. These are the guys. These are the money makers. These are the box office. These are the Tom Cruise. These are the Matt Damon. The Leonardo DiCaprio. These are the heavy hitters. These are the Daniel Day-Lewises. I like to see it. These are the Denzels. I like to see it. I want to see them. I want to see what they're going to do. I want to see Equalizer 4. I want to see Mission Impossible, Part 2 Reckoning. Is it Ghost Reckoning? I forget which one. I mean, so many titles with Mission Impossible. I can't wait for that movie though. It's gonna be a great movie. Last Mission Impossible. It's gonna be a little sentimental, but I can't wait. Can't wait. Um, I also want to get to Kevin Durant. I mean, before I get to Kevin Durant, I want to get to LeBron because he made the comment about being the face of the league. And Anthony Edwards recently had an interview about, I don't want to be the face of the league. I don't want to do that. Like, I just want to play basketball. I just want to enjoy myself. There's some reasons why I think Anthony Edwards has that notion. I don't want to be messy. But there's some reasons I think Anthony Edwards doesn't want to be the face of the league of some personal things that he's been through that probably the face of the league does not want to show and reveal. Compared to the home guys, compared to the family guys that Steph Curry and LeBron are, Anthony Edwards is not that guy. Just to put it very, very politely, he's not that guy. And so LeBron was like, man, I feel him. Said I feel him. Come on, like these NBA media guys, these Barkley, the inside the NBA crew, Stephen A. They just want to tear me down. They just want to nitpick everything I do. They want to talk about how I bumped into Eric Spoelstra, even though I did it on purpose. Like, come on, man, it's not fair. And you know what? I agree with LeBron. Absolutely agree with LeBron. There is a heavy crown to being the face of the league when you have to get nitpicked all the time. I agree with him. Do you really want to be the face of the league? I mean, if you're crowned that awesome, but do you want to go after that when you get nitpicked 24/7? Anything you do and say is like, oh man, it's not how the face of the NBA should act. It's not good, LeBron. It's not good, Ant. It's not good, Steph. You can't throw your mouthpiece. Can't do that. Your mom wouldn't be happy. Come on, Steph. Come on. It's bad. You're acting out of character. You're acting like a child. Don't do that, Steph. Do you really want that? Do you really want that 24/7? Do you want to go after that? LeBron self-proclaimed him chosen one because he knew he had an innate ability. He had a different skill that was going to transcend the history of the league and the sport. When you have a skill like that, yeah, like you feel confident. He felt confident. He felt like, I got this. I'm going to take over. I'm going to take over the league. And he did. And he has. He's still doing it. Name 9 players that are playing better than him right now. Name 9. I'll wait. Name 9. Can't really think of it off the top of your head. Shea. Nikola Jokic. Who else? Who else besides those two is like significantly playing better than LeBron James right now, who's 40 in year 23 or 22? Come on. Let's really think about it. So I think LeBron is completely justified in that aspect of not wanting to be the face of the league and why it's such a burden for guys to do that. And now Kevin Durant, I want to get to Kevin Durant because Mike Budenhozer, they got into it after the Suns came back from 23 against the Clippers Tuesday night. And Mike Budenhozer tried to console KD, tried to say, hey, man, I want to talk to you. And KD like, no, I'm in my zone, no. And people were like, whoa, what's going on with KD and Mike? Coach Mike, what's going on? Oh, my goodness. Trouble in Phoenix. What's going on? And KD was like, guys, things are getting competitive. Like, you guys don't want to talk about when we were later in the game talking about how things were good and we were just, there's competitive fire as men and as NBA players that just happens. Yeah, things are going to pop off sometimes. But my thing with KD is that KD knows that's going to happen. He knows he is a popular player. He knows that he's one of the best players in the league still, and arguably the greatest scorer of all time. He knows that. So when you do something aggressive, it's going to get caught and people are going to analyze it and nitpick it. When Travis Kelce literally bumped into Andy Reid and yelled at him in last year's Super Bowl, it got caught on 4K. They're like, oh, that's what you should do. That's what you do to your coach. Assault your coach? Really? That's what's going to happen in moments like that. And so when we see that, it's not like it's never happened before, but KD also has to realize, come on, you're almost, you're 35, 36. Like, bro, that shouldn't be a shock to you. Sometimes I think KD plays up. Really? Like, you guys are going to do this? What? I'm like, KD, that's the media. The thing I like about JJ Redick is JJ Redick knows how the media is going to be because he was a media guy for so long. He played the media game. Not everybody can play the media game and then come back to be a coach. But he played the media game very well. He's like, yeah, I know what you guys are going to do. I'm media trained. I'm podcast trained. I know what you guys are going to do. I had about like 4 podcasts when I was retired. And so when that happens, you have to realize that the media is very watchful. They want to see the mess. They don't want to see the calm. They don't want to see the just, having an intellectual conversation about X's and O's and motion offense. They're like, oh, okay, cool. But we want to see the mess. We want to see Eric Spoelstra and LeBron arguing. We want to see anger. We want to see Kevin Durant and Draymond Green arguing at each other in their last year together because the Warriors dynasty is about to close with KD. Those are things that happen. So KD has to be mindful of that and know that, hey, whatever you do, man, we know you don't like the media, but the media has to do their job. Everybody has to do their job. And that's what he's not realizing. And that's what sometimes I think that the disconnect with KD is how sensitive he is. He's one of the most sensitive players I've ever seen in NBA, ever. I love KD's one of my favorite players, but he's so sensitive to a kind of annoying degree where every little thing just ticks him off. And going forward, I also want to talk about Cleveland and OKC because they don't deserve the criticism they're going to get if they have a finals together. They don't deserve it. They're a small market team. They're not going to care because they're going to be so excited to be in the finals. But imagine if those two teams make it to the finals and it's one of the lowest rated finals ever because no, man, nobody wants to see OKC and Cleveland. We want to see like Lakers and Boston. We want to see the big markets, which I agree. I want to see Lakers Celtics too. That's a series I'd want to see more. But I also know OKC Cleveland will be high level basketball. Adam Silver is dealing with the conundrum of high level basketball or still high level basketball, but bigger market, bigger ratings. And obviously that's what he wants because it's a no brainer. You want the box office guys, you want the stars. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown defending their title against LeBron, who is arguably the best player ever, who's trying to be the best player ever, and then Luka Doncic, who's a star, and then two young coaches in JJ Redick and Joe Mazzulla. Like that part of it is just it's so enticing. It's like that's so movie. That's such a movie script ready finals that you're like you have to sign off on that. You know what I mean? And I think that would be the more entertaining one. But OKC Cleveland, look, they deserve credit for what they've done. They deserve a significant amount of credit, absolute credit for what they have done because man, they have put on a spectacle. And Shea is hungry and he wants that crown so bad. He's hungry after what happened against Dallas because he feels as though they should have won the series. They were very close, very close. Next up, I wanted to get to the Gervonta Davis-Lamont Roach fight. Obviously, that's stole the headlines over the weekend. I did a video, Wellington's Wise Zone video. Check it out on all socials: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You can check my link tree with Wellington Burns on any social media platform, and you can just go straight to my TikTok. Check the Patreon. Please subscribe to the Patreon. New interview out with Henry Montgomery, a current MMA fighter and a future UFC fighter, but had a really great interview with him. And yes, we are a few weeks away from the podcast relaunching into Wellington's Wise Zone officially. We're in our closing weeks of Full Scope podcast. I appreciate you guys still supporting. Appreciate you guys still checking the videos. But we are in our closing weeks of Full Scope, and Wellington's Wise Zone is on the horizon officially, which I'm so super excited for. Super excited for that new shift. But yeah, back to the fight, Gervonta Davis. I believe Gervonta Davis has never had that many fights where it looked like, is he going to win this? Is this going to happen for him? And when it got to about round 9, I was watching it with my dad, and I was thinking, like, I even said to him, I was like, Tank's in trouble. Tank's actually in trouble. Like, he could actually lose this fight, like, significantly. Not like, I mean, a blowout, but I mean, like, there's a significant chance that he could lose it. And then that's when because Lamont Roach, obviously knew him when he was 12, 13. They had a sparring fight, grew up together. And Gervonta beat him, but this guy has power. He's got the height advantage on him. He's got power. He does not back down. He is ready. He was talking trash. They were going back and forth. It was heated. It was a fight. And then in round 9, Tank takes the knee, goes back to his corner, complains about his hair, and there's grease in his eyes. There's hair grease in his eyes. Talk about he got his hair done a couple days ago, this and that. The hair stylist was super upset, like, hey, this is not. He's like, you're not gonna bring down my brand, Tank. You're not gonna do that. I got bills to pay, Tank. You're not gonna do that. Like I'm good. I'm good over here. I'm certified. I'm certified, Tank. Don't bring down my legacy just because you lost your fight. she was, hey, and she should be, because that's a business, and she doesn't want her product to be brought down. Like, she's like, come on, like, that's ridiculous. You should not do this, and not blame it on a hair grease of all things. And again, as a big Tank fan, I was disappointed in how he was after the loss. You know, he's like, oh man, like, you guys are hating on me. I'm talking about hair grease. Come on. I'm like, Tank, you got to be a professional. You got to be professional. You got to deal with it the right way. You got to own up to the fact that it was a draw. It ended up being a draw, majority draw. And you got to fight this guy again. You got to get back in the lab. He said he's going to be in the gym next week. I hope he is. I hope he's being honest, because this is no joke. Lamont Roach won that fight. And I even said that in my video. He won that fight, I think. And I feel as though he deserved to win that fight, because he was the better fighter. He was the more aggressive fighter. He was landing more punches. Like, Tank, no matter what he has on Twitter, he was not landing more punches. That was very delusional. Tank was being a delusional loser. And that's just the way it went. So, I know Ryan Garcia was there. I know Shakur Stevenson was there. Forget those guys. There's only one guy Tank needs to be worried about. It's Lamont Roach. Get the rematch. Focus on Ryan Garcia later. Focus on Shakur Stevenson, the fight I want to see later. Do all that later. But it also made me think about, if him and Shakur Stevenson have fought this year, that might have been a different fight. He is a defensively sound fighter, Shakur Stevenson, defensively sound, and that guy was not going to mess around. He might have picked apart Tank. So I thought about that fight a lot differently before, because I talked to my brother, like, man, Tank might have struggled with Shakur. And I hope this is a wake-up call for Tank to know, hey, man, whatever, if it's mental, if it's something else, if it's personal, just get that right and then get back to the lab, because he looked very distracted all over the place. It was not the Tank I'm used to seeing. I want to close out with some football topics. Obviously, we have Deebo Samuel going to Washington. I personally think that is a great trade for Washington, and a horrible one for San Francisco, because I'm like, what are you thinking, giving away a talent? I know we got he's older, he's 29, but that is still an exceptional receiver when he's playing well. I don't care what anybody says. Exceptional receiver. The stakes, the upside is still very high when you got Jaden Daniels getting a guy like Deebo Samuel. That's big time. That's box office. And Jaden Daniels can absolutely accelerate the process of this franchise. Already got him to the NFC Championship last year, and you add in Deebo Samuels, you guys could make a run. You guys could threaten Philadelphia. I absolutely think that they can threaten Philadelphia. And then for San Francisco, it's just like they're going to the doldrums for sure. They are in trouble significantly, straightening away a talent like Deebo Samuels. I know he's getting older, but 29, but still, that guy is really good, a threat, an absolute threat when he's playing. And lastly, it's Travis Kelce. He's back. He's coming back. I think there was no way on God's green earth he was not going to come back for his 13th season after what happened to the Chiefs. If they had won the Super Bowl, I think it probably would have been different, but you would have thought differently of it. But no, like, he's not going out like that. That puts a bad taste in your mouth to go out with a loss like that, where you get like absolutely smoked. The Super Bowl, absolutely smoked. So he's back. He's gonna run it back. Talked about it on his podcast with his brother that they're gonna run it back. They're gonna get after it. Announced to Pat McAfee, the guy who just gets all the all the exclusive now at this point. But yeah, I think it's exceptional. It's very, very exceptional to see him run it back. The revenge tour is active, as Nick Wright would say. It's going to be active. The revenge tour, they're going to buy into it. They're going to play it up, and it's going to be an exciting season. So, they're going to be back. The Chiefs are going to be back. They will be back, and I do think Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes, the two leaders of that franchise, the cornerstones of that franchise currently, are going to be as motivated as ever to right the wrongs of what happened against Philadelphia. So yeah, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.